Y'all want to know the real reason why no one likes to club anymore and why clubbing culture is dead? Well, surprise, surprise, the reason is men, but let me tell you why. As it's been established, men aren't real men nowadays. They don't like being gentlemen, they don't like being courteous, and they don't like women very much. The other day, me and my friends were at a beach club and we were at the bar waiting to buy our drinks because, you know, we're strong, independent women and we don't want men to buy our drinks, but if someone offers, why not? So these two men come up to one of my friends and they go, hey, like, do you mind if we cut in line? We're just getting 2 drinks. Oh, whoa, wait. We've been waiting here. Sure, you guys can cut us in line, like, but are you guys gonna get us our drinks? He was just like, no. And then I was like, oh. So then why the did you ask? Move then. What happened to ladies first? What happened to class? And then this man has the audacity to try hitting on my friend who didn't even buy her a drink. What makes you think you could talk to her? All of these men will get in and they'll just stand there. They won't even dance. They'll just stand there and just look at women. Just being full on monitoring spirits. Like, just stood there like, oh no, the girls should come up to us. No. Men will go out in big groups and they won't get tables. They won't buy bottles. A lot of these clubs aren't making money anymore. So now a lot of them are charging girls too. The reason why you're still open is because we are in your establishment. 9 times out of 10, when we come out, it's not fun anymore anyways. So why the are we spending money to not even have fun? That's why I think clubbing culture is done. I'm more of like a lounge, you know, speakeasy type girl now. We're not doing that in 2025 anymore.
So let me get this straight. This guy asked you to cut in line. You could have said no. You could have said off, wait for us first, and then you go after. But he asked nicely and you said yes. And there wasn't even a conversation of like, hey, if I let you cut, you got me and my girlfriend over here. We just want 2 of these drinks. You could have said that as well. But then you get mad at him for not buying you drinks. And you get even more mad by the fact that he finds your friend attractive and he wants to hit on her. Like, the logic is not logicking. And then you went on this whole tantrum of how clubs are and how everything is bad. Let me get something straight. Let me tell you guys this, okay? Buying a girl a drink at the bar is probably the worst thing that you can do as a guy. Random girls, I mean. Not your girl. If it's your girl, do whatever you want to do. Because the ROI on it is very low. Women are typically very unappreciative of drinks. And a lot of women feel like it's an expectation. And they will use you. And I know a ton of girls, even my own female friends, that will let guys buy them drinks at the bar and then vanish away. Even when they got boyfriends, even when they're in relationships. Never buy a girl a drink unless you actually know her. Never buy a girl a drink unless she's actually with you at the bar, in your presence, on a date, whatever it may be. It's the dumbest thing that you can do. And all these girls shaming men for not letting them sit in sections, not letting them do that, it's their money. They can do whatever they want. I hate to say it. I understand that times have changed. Back in the day, men were a lot more chivalrous, but those days are gone. Women have kind of I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. This narrative has pushed men away. If you're so independent, if you can do everything on your own, why the do you need us to buy your drinks? Tell me that.
A sweet man who speaks kindly to me, who's very gentle with me, who enjoys making me happy, seeing me smile makes him smile, who's very intentional, who likes date nights, who likes to buy me things just because he thought of me and said, you know what, I think she would like this. I want him. And I don't know why y'all try to put a label on this type of man, a man that actually loves women. I don't know why y'all labeled it as a simp.
I think you're being short-sighted when you say that a man who loves women. It's deeper than that. This is a man who doesn't really love himself. That's what a simp is. And that's why people ridicule these type of men. And that's how we make each other better. We insult each other with love. So yes, if you're doing some kind of behavior, it's the same way as women call a pygmy. I'm pretty sure this woman would not have a problem with women calling other women pygmies, you know, and this is how you guys tell each other, hey, stand up, you know, because yeah, for certain, there's some women who treat men that don't deserve to be treated well. You know why? Because they may be stigmatized, or the dude may have money, or he's very handsome, who knows? But it's never really because of all these things you mentioned. It's never because he's doing date night and he's romantic and all this stuff. Like, so the method has been proven to not work. And that's why men are so upset with other men, because it's like you're doing a method that doesn't work. It's like a dude trying to grow his quads by doing pull-ups. That's essentially what, you know, simps are doing. Like, you're not going to secure the woman by doing whatever she says. Women don't like that. They want a leader. And unfortunately, a lot of women can't be led because you have to fit certain criteria. You know, you have to be a lot of things that most men don't fit the checklist. So what women do, they pick guys, they pick simps that they can control. And because they know this guy, will pretty much be under their thumb, and he will simp because at least if I can't secure the guy I want, at least I can have somebody I can control. And that's another point of reference for men to draw insults from. And you put it in a nice package. It's just simp.
On today's episode of The Grass Ain't Greener on the Other Side, multi-millionaire, super famous Kai Cenat and his girlfriend are done. Kai has just posted, said that he's single and he's never getting a relationship again. And it is alleged that this young lady named Gigi was cheating with none other than NBA YoungBoy. Allegedly. This is exactly why we tell men to focus on themselves. Women talk about men not being ambitious. This guy's a multi-millionaire. Women talk about men not being able to lead him. This guy is a freaking CEO and leader of millions. Women talk about men not being good enough. Well, quite frankly, this guy is richer than anybody you've ever had an opportunity to talk to. At what point in time is enough enough? See, some women will never be satisfied with the man that they're with because they're not satisfied with who they are. They're not satisfied and they're not happy with themselves. They have something internal going on. Because if Kai Cenat can't keep a woo! Like, this is getting ridiculous. He's famous. Clouded the up. Super rich. Super plugged in. Extremely well respected and loved by millions of people. And it's not good enough. At this point, these want to marry Jesus or something. I have no idea what the is good enough. And you know what? It started bad from the beginning because this young lady whose mom is a OF model was already meddling in their business. Fellas, when you're on your purpose and you're moving towards a goal, sometimes these women can just be a distraction. Sometimes these women can knock you off your rocker. He had came out on his birthday and said he was going through some mental health things. And of course, this story just drops less than 2 days after that. Pretty sure they're related. Some women, it's never enough. You can have the money. You can have the cars. You can have the fitness. You can have the body. You can have the looks. You can have the clout. You can have the respect. And it's still going to be a that's going to want someone or something else. It's still not enough for them. You can buy this the whole world, and this looking at the moon. You buy the moon, and they're talking about Pluto. And you got to watch the type of women you choose. Because these generational curses get passed down. Her mama was a bop. What do you think a bop's going to have? A baby bop. Healing energy from Kai. What he needs to understand is as he goes along, he's going to continue to get bigger and better. And I can guarantee you that this is the biggest thing that's ever happened in this young lady's life and will happen in this young lady's life. Fellas, focus on yourselves. These hoes ain't out here playing fair. The next time you and a chick split up and she tries to make it seem like it's your fault or you're not good enough for her, bro, if Kai Cenat won't good enough for her OnlyFans daughter, then it's not us, bros. It's them hoes. That ugly money. So listen, y'all, I'm not a gatekeeper, so I'm not going to hide the information. Y'all are missing the bag. I understand that you might like to work and you like to do this and go to work every day and go out in the cold and start your car up and go to that job that you hate. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But y'all are missing a big bag and I can help you get it. DM #content and let me show you with the meeting of how you can do this. This is a light month. This is this month. This is from a couple of weeks ago. I just posted this picture today. As you can see, it's this month, okay? And that's not the biggest month. Let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to change your life, your lifestyle, your household, your financial situation with content. I'm one of the biggest content creators in the freaking country right now. One of the biggest male content creators in the world. DM the word content. Let's set up a meeting and let me give you the game. You have to buy me lunch though.
A lot of women are losers, and I want to talk about it. A lot of y'all feel like men should provide for you guys and should upgrade your lifestyles, but you have nothing in return to give to him. Therefore, that makes you a loser. And you always are so quick to call men losers if they live at home with their mom or if they don't have a job. You'll label them a loser very quickly, but a lot of y'all be baby mamas living off the government, don't have, like I said, nothing to offer anyone. You can't even look at yourself in the mirror and be accountable, then have the nerve to call someone else a loser. Yeah, loser. And the amount of women that encourage bad behavior, negativity, and the catty-like behavior. Yeah, loser mentality. And the thing about losers, they want to make other people losers. So this is why you see them being so miserable and trying to make other women miserable. And women lie to each other, and instead of telling each other the truth, they would just rather normalize bad behavior. It's disgusting. And a lot of women make horrible decisions. They live with no discipline. They don't care how they carry themselves, and they just project all of their negative energy back onto men. It's the patriarchy. Not to mention, a lot of you guys are complaining about the very men that you raise. You don't want to date the men that you raise. And why is that? Is it because a lot of you guys don't even want to be mothers? And y'all complain about all of the things that make women beautiful, that make women unique. You guys hate that about yourselves and still find a way to blame it on men.
Feminism is in this country.
Can you be more specific?
Feminism has taught us to hate men and to fear men because capital profits off of my fear as a woman. If I'm afraid of men, they can make a profit off of that. There's a gender war because men are the underdogs right now. Men are the ones being told you're feared, you're wrong, everything you do is wrong, go make money, don't show emotion, be. Women are making a rise to the top. We've over-feminized so much and included women so much, which is great. But we don't have to tear men down to include women.
So why is there so much talk about male privilege?
Because for a long time there was male privilege, and now the script is flipped. Now women are the ones with privilege, but no one's ready to hear that.
But why are we still talking about male privilege?
Because no one's ready for it. We're not ready to make that change. We're seeing more women in films, more women in power. The amount of jobs that I have seen that say women only is ridiculous. In an effort to hire more women and get them hired and include them, we've excluded men.
I mean, you know, I know the lady was upset because a man didn't buy her drinks. But I think honestly, and this is what I mean when I say modern women could use an attitude adjustment. There's no reason to let that ruin your night. I just think that modern women have to talk about anything and everything. And you don't. They have to share anything and everything. And you don't. Just don't say stuff. Just stop talking. You don't have to continue to share certain things. And even at that, you could just kind of brush it off and say, oh man, these men out here, man, you guys are busters. Are you good? Okay, if we let you cut, are you going to buy our drinks? Man, no, we're not going to buy your drink. Okay, then why would we let you cut? I tell you what, if you buy our drinks, then you'll get something special. I mean, just kind of mess around, kind of play around with them. But modern women, they say that men have lost the art of being gentlemen and approaching and chivalry and all that stuff. But modern women have really lost the art of, you know, just kind of being friendly, just kind of being, and I say flirty loosely because I don't want you to think that you should go out there just kind of, you know, just falling all over men. But you can kind of be a little bit playful and kind of joke around a little bit without always feeling entitled.
Black women particularly are the most educated demographic of people in the whole country. In 2023, that's an improvement because there were times where we weren't even allowed to go to school prior to, you know, certain things being protected.
When were you not allowed to go to school? There were
women.
As a result of this segregation, they were creating black universities and things like that, which brought out the best in blacks then. And then the education that they were getting is much better than the education they're getting out of black schools because, you know, how black folks are, they don't care. But the education was no good. And if you notice, the black women who are getting the so-called education, it's putting them on a false pedestal. And they think they're better than everybody. Now they're lonely, they're lost, they're angry, and nobody want to deal with them. So they got worse rather than getting better.
I completely disagree.
But educated women don't make for good wives and good mothers.
I completely disagree with that.
Why is that?
It's just not true. It's sexist. It's a lot of misogyny in there, and it's just not true.
What's not true about that?
Why does education stop you from being a good mother?
Because a woman that's educated, she thinks she's equal to a man. Because a woman that's educated think that she should work and not be at home raising his children and clean, you know, keep the house going and things like that. And you know, educated women don't care about the children. They're going to throw them off in a daycare center just so they can get their ego fulfillment. So they don't really make for good wives and good mothers.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. My mother was very educated. She went to school. She raised me well. So now I, too, have a master's degree. I have my pick of the litter. There are plenty of men that want me. I can guarantee you that. And I have my own business. So it works.
But not
Are you saying that women who have education can't raise their kids?
Right.
Why?
Because they are on an ego trip. They try to go to prove that they're like a man.
Who raised?
Well, why get married if you don't love your husband, your children enough to stay home and watch over his children?
I don't even want children, so
you don't want
I'm gonna
children?
be married with my husband, traveling the world, and live my best life.
So why get married then? Right?
I was raised by a married woman,
But she didn't stay home,
so
right? She didn't stay home and raise you.
what's your
I
point?
rest my case. You
I'm a
get divorced while you were
successful
young?
Yeah,
While you were still living at home?
correct.
Oh, I thought you said you were raised by both parents.
For a little bit, then I got
So you
divorced.
weren't raised by both parents. See, I told you, educated women don't make for good wives and good mother. And
disagree.
now you're an adult. If you got married, number one, you're not going to obey your husband. Number two, you don't want to have children. There's no reason to get married.
To you.
Because you can party by yourself like that. You have friends, and you can take your male friends with you and everything.
To you.
Isn't that right? Since she got married, she should obey her husband and stay home and raise his children.
I believe she should do whatever she wants. That's what I believe.
And not what he wants.
Correct.
And what do you believe? Do you personally believe that a woman should obey her husband?
I don't like the word obey.
You don't like the word obey, you say?
Yeah, obey sounds, again, I believe women are equal to men, so we're just going to disagree on that.
And so what's wrong with the word obey?
Because obey sounds like an authority.
It is.
And I
A
don't believe-
dictator.
Yeah, and my husband
And being
should not
supposed
be
to
a dictator.
dictate in the home.
Completely disagree.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I grew up Christian.
Well, Christ said that a woman should obey her husband. Was he wrong too?
Sure.
Christ was wrong?
Yeah.
The God you believe in was wrong when he said that.
Sure.
amazing.
Lose weight like a man. Have you ever noticed that when men go about losing weight, they know that this is very a simple thing to do, okay? But how come we get it so wrong as women?
I know why. Women tend to make it emotional and men do not. Men's calorie deficits are much higher than women's. No, it's proportional. We are not the same. We have a different cycle of hormones. Okay, do you understand biology? All of these small tweaks just don't work for us. Hormones, basic metabolic rates, height difference. So we wouldn't have to do these complicated methods of tracking food and exercising. Oh, you mean like a calorie deficit and working out? Yeah, I never thought of that. Even when a content creator makes a fantastic video, I don't know if you guys can tell, but she is also a woman, the entire comment section is still filled with excuses proving her exact point. Men are actually gatekeeping all the secrets to weight loss, and you are a biological phenomenon. You have broken every single law of thermodynamics, and you're just different. It's exactly what I would say if I gave into all the that floats around the health and wellness space. This is what happens. I have many friends and mutuals that are in the female side of bodybuilding, and they get the results that they do by just doing the work. You either do it and you do it accurately, you kind of do it and you're not really that accurate, you don't do it and you just make excuses. Most people fall within that bottom 2 range. Whenever you ask a guy why he hasn't lost weight, he's always like, yeah, I'm not really working out that hard, I haven't been doing my cardio, I haven't been tracking, I've been eating like, and it's all objective facts. But when you ask women why they haven't lost weight, most of the time it is excuses. It is an emotional response first and not objective facts, which is unfortunate. Yes, I understand there's examples on both sides of the ball here, so no, I'm not just attacking women, but as a fellow coach myself, we just see patterns. And mind you, if I made this exact same video, the comment section would be a million times worse. I just don't understand the lying to yourself and not taking accountability, because as soon as you start asking these people questions, they will tell you the exact red flags of the holes in their program that you can like pick out, and it's pretty obvious. One of the biggest things that I've learned being a coach these past couple of years is during my onboarding phone call, I look for a couple key mindset characteristics, because I would much rather any day work with a client that is 400 plus pounds overweight, that knows nothing, that I have to teach everything from the ground up, build them up fully, and take the most amount of work over someone like this. If you aren't honest with yourself and the objective facts, I know well, you're not going to be honest with your coach, and it does suck, because as coaches, we can give you all the food in the world, but we can't force you to eat.
What's your age?
46.
Are you single?
I am.
So where do you think most men go wrong when it comes on to dating women?
I would say, if you have a mindset where, yo, what up? You want to be in the video there, boy?
What are we talking about?
Well, he was talking about dating and challenges with dating. You guys have any challenges with dating? Okay.
So my challenge is that nobody wants to be in a serious relationship and everybody just wants to. Another challenge is they do not want to provide.
Okay.
They want to be the woman.
Okay, can I speak on that?
Okay.
Can I have a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to piss them off, though. You're going to get mad, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Is the rage free?
It is.
Okay, it's okay.
Is it okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, for you, my feedback is this. 99% of men on the earth would probably wife you up. So you're only picking the one dude out of like 1,000 because he's the best guy. So it's not really a guy problem. It's just that you like only the best. Am I right? You want only that best guy. It's got all the options. So I promise you, I can bring guy after guy after guy here, and they'll commit to you in 2 seconds. You'll have a husband by 5 minutes from now. You're an amazing woman to have a husband in 5 minutes. But it wouldn't be the one you want, because you only want the one you can have. In your case, you gotta remember this, right? So, feminism is a good thing, right? It's a good thing, right? So who got 65% of college graduations this year? Women, right? Isn't that awesome? It's a good change. Who got 65% of mortgages this year? Women. That's great, right? We're advancing.
But that doesn't matter.
Of course it doesn't. No. But one moment. I'm saying it's great. But the point is that now dudes are broke. So the problem is we're at an impasse.
I don't care that men are broke.
I know.
You should provide for your woman.
I know you don't care that about men. But what I'm saying is that you also only want the best. And so as a result of that, that's why you guys are stuck.
But it's not just the best. It's just being taken care of.
But if women have 65% of the jobs, then how are they going to take care of you?
Most women have dads who take care of them. Why would they date a man who doesn't take care of them?
You're right. But the challenge is that we have to bridge the gap. Because if a girl's going to have 65% of the jobs, we got to bridge the gap. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not following.
So if you're a guy and 35% of jobs only go to men, what you gonna do to pay for that girl? It's tough, but you want the best. I understand that.
He just has to work harder.
Yeah, work harder, you little.
Not working
harder, okay? I don't care about you. Work, okay?
He's not working hard enough.
Yeah. Forget about stats, math.
My dad came from nothing. You're not working hard enough.
Of what era he came from.
How many kids do you have? I know you have a son.
I have 5.
All by the same man?
Absolutely not.
What's wrong with having kids by the same man?
Absolutely nothing. We just don't. Absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, that just was not what panned out in the choices that I made. 5.
You mentioned kids. How many kids do you have, baby girl?
I have 4.
Okay, all by the same man? No, ma'am. How many men?
3.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, I have 3.
All by the same man?
No.
How many men?
3 different men.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
How many kids?
I have 4.
All by the same man?
Mm-mm.
How many men? 3.
I got 3. I got a 10-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 4-month-old.
Do they all have the same dad?
No, I got 3 baby daddies.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 7.
You really have 7 kids?
Yeah.
You gave birth to 7 kids?
Yes.
You're 33 years old?
Yes.
For how many men?
1.
I smell bullshit.
Cap.
Why are you not with that man? Are you with him? You're married?
No, I'm engaged to a different person.
Okay, you have 7 kids by somebody else and you're engaged. So why are you calling me?
Because my engagement is going left instead of right.
And all these kids are by the same man?
You can say that.
No, I want to know Amina, honey, I don't got time to play these grown-ass games with you, okay? So you have 7 kids. Are they all by the same man or not?
Some of them are.
How many men do you have kids by?
5.
So how did you tell me all your kids were by one man?
Do
you have any kids?
Rage quit.
I do. Brace yourself. I have 7 children.
Are they all by the same man?
No.
How many men?
5.
How many kids do you have?
I have 7.
You have 7 children?
I
How old
do.
are you?
I'm 34.
Are they all by the same man?
The last 4, yes.
Why you not with this man? Because you got a 4-year-old, 2 3-year-olds, and a 1-year-old.
It's a long story. When I met him, I didn't know he was married until I got pregnant, and that's when I found out. He ended up
How long did you date him before you found out he was married?
a year.
Okay, so that means you had 4 kids by him knowing he was pregnant. Married. Correct?
After I found out.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, I have 7.
You have 7 kids, really?
Mm-hmm.
7.
So you put 7 kids out of your vagina?
The last one I had a C-section, but yes,
By how many men?
3.
And do you have any children?
Yes, I have 5.
All by the same man?
No.
How many
No,
men,
3.
babies, girl, do you have kids by?
3.
3.
And I have to say, because Jesse was talking about educated women don't make for good wives, I would say it really depends on the woman's mindset. Because, obviously, my mom is educated, still married after, God knows how many years, 40 something, 50 something years, educated, right? My aunt, educated. I'm thinking of a few other people, educated, right? So really honestly and truly, but they're, from the older crowd. But I do think that there are, my wife is educated. It depends on where you're getting these women from and their attitude. Because a lot of these modern women, they have just like this spirit of pride to where if you didn't, and I've actually been around people that said, no, he needs to be on this education level in order to kind of talk to me and be with me. And I'm like, you might be smart and educated, but there's some other areas that you are weak in. So even though he might not have a master's degree, there's some things that he can probably teach you.
Hi everyone, I'm about to go on a date. Wish me luck. More like wish him luck, right? I'll keep you posted. So the date started at 7:15. It is about 7:53 right now. So a little bit over a half hour. And then I had to walk out on the date. This is what happened. We got to talking about our personal lives, what do you do for work, relationships and things like that. And I talk about, oh yes, I was previously married and I have a child who's 8 years old, who I co-parent with my ex-husband and his wife. And then all of a sudden he started freaking out. And he's like, oh, you have a kid? And he says, oh, I can't date somebody who has a kid. Like, to my face. He's like, I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, excuse me? And he starts making me feel like very uncomfortable. I'm like, nobody should ever make me feel like that, especially on a date. Are you kidding me? I had to walk out on this date because this guy said, I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I think you were very misleading in your profile. And I'm like, why? Because I didn't put a picture of my son in my profile? Seriously? Like, there's a lot of pedophiles on those apps. I don't disclose that unless we're talking on the phone or if we meet in person. The guy is 40 years old. 40 years old. To think that you're going to date women who don't already have children, who have never been married, is absolutely absurd. Absurd. I never hid anything. And quite frankly, I called him out at the bar and I'm just like, oh, so you don't like kids? He's like, oh no, I like kids. I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I'm like, oh, you can't date somebody who has a kid? Maybe you should put in your profile that you don't like children. Okay? That you're not even going to try to give us a chance, because I have a wonderful, amazing 8-year-old son. Okay? To me, that's not a family man. No. That man's looking to destroy, and I want no part of it.
The biggest problem that I see here is that man is now being shamed for his very valid preferences. And that is coming from a woman that was once a single mom. Is her point about blasting photos of her son all over her dating profile correct? Yeah, but that's not what he necessarily asked for. All that she really literally needed to do was mention him when they were talking before going out on a very nice date. But instead of taking accountability for not communicating that ahead of time, she ends up shaming him. She says that he makes her feel uncomfortable during the date, literally because he's talking about what he doesn't like. She even twists it into him just not liking kids.
So I just walked out on a man in the middle of our workout at the gym because he tried to play in my face.
Oh, brother, buckle up for this nonsense, you guys.
After the workout session, he did express romantic interest. Do I know that men are attracted to me? Yes, I'm not stupid doodle dumb. But does that mean I'm about to be with you, date you? No, we're just doing the gym thing. I very much keep men at an arm's length and a distance at all times. But he was like, if you ever want to go on a date, I am feeling you. I was like, I know you're attracted to me because, again, I'm not stupid. But I'm like, let's do the gym thing. I think this is good. I'm not really looking at, date right now. We're just going to be gym buddies. So we're in the gym today, right? We're doing our workout. Everything's going well. And then there was this woman that approached him. So I don't say nothing. I just kind of looked at her. Now, she did look my way and she was like, hey, I saw you. And I was like, oh my God, that's my dad. Turns out the woman is his daughter. Now, we had just talked about the daughter. I think the first time we worked out, we talked about the daughter. So I'm familiar with her. She's not familiar with me, right? So they're having about a 3-minute conversation. They chopping it up, as they should. But at no point during this conversation did he even look over to me or did he even say, oh, hey, this is my friend Sheila. We're working out. Simple. We're gym buddies. All you could have did was introduce me. But you didn't. So she walks away and he kind of seems like we're about to continue this workout. So which I got off the machine and I was like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that. I felt very unseen. Like, we're platonic friends and you could have just introduced me. Now, you did express romantic interest. And with you having romantic interest, you should have for sure introduced me. Which lets me know, like, are you hiding something? You ashamed of me? Because I'm that girl. What you gotta be ashamed of? What you hiding me for?
Ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to lock in because now it's getting embarrassing. Why would that man introduce you to his daughter? He's also not obligated to introduce you to his daughter. He told you he was interested in you, attracted to you, and wanted to date you. You said you just wanted to be buddies. Why would he need to introduce you to his daughter? If he was hiding you, he wouldn't be working out in a public gym with you. If he was embarrassed of you, he wouldn't be working out in a public gym with you. What are you even talking about right now? You walked out on this gym date because he didn't introduce you to his daughter. My man didn't meet my kids for near 2 years. Contrary to popular belief, everyone's not out here just willy-nilly introducing strangers to their kids. Like, he doesn't know what y'all are going to be. You said you're not interested in a relationship right now. Why would he introduce you to his daughter? For what reason did you need to be seen? You said I felt like I wasn't being seen. You didn't need to be seen. You're what? Y'all are in a public gym. Everybody saw you. Are y'all okay?
She's not me. I'm a man and she's a woman. And we live by different rules on this planet Earth. Bro, that's true. And if you say that we don't, then when you go home and you got a daughter and a son, tell them to go by the same rules. I guarantee you don't tell your daughter she live by the same rules. You want to know why?
I actually have 2 boys, so I don't worry about that.
You would never tell your boys that they can do the same things that
I'm not, but
exactly.
For you
why
to think that it's okay.
But you just said
the
we live
stuff
by the
that's
same
coming
rules.
out your mouth is crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
It's only crazy to you because of the world that you live in.
And I do agree with her where you saying you're possessive. Like, I want to see the type of woman that you have dated. Like, I'm sorry.
The type of women that I
don't feel like you have dated a dominant woman. Because me personally, the way
dominant women. I would have been got rid of a dominant woman
Right.
thinking she gonna tell me what to do.
It's actually ridiculous. Yo, look at the look on this brother's face. I like this guy. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that these women still wear domination like a badge of honor, as if it is a good thing to live their life by. Shout out to Margaret Sanger. You've done a wonder on our community. Oh, this goes deep, baby. But this right here is a man that is standing on business. This type of response to the bull is what men actually need to see. Not that feminine weak of allowing them to control how you should feel about something. Absolutely not. They will laugh and cackle at a young man that is standing up on business, meanwhile never realizing that it is impossible to request a man to be a leader while you're also a strong, independent, dominant woman. It's impossible.
I'm dealing with women that's manipulative. Like women he dealing with the wrong nowadays, they kinds. only want to be submissive when it fits them.
Mm.
They'll be submissive when we going on trips and when I'm paying the rent and whenever they car break down.
But they're
and
not
it
naturally
fits, and whenever
submissive.
everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem.
Mm.
You submissive whenever you want to be.
He's
Whenever I
right.
tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for
I
me.
can't lie to you. He got some truth in that.
That's true, that's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
He ain't saying
because,
shit wrong with that.
but what I noticed, I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having the little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hand and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing for them, everything good.
Too Yeah. much
So
talking back.
I might be rich on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
we
it's
need
kinda-
to be able to lead, but how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back?
Mansplaining Men to Women, episode 128, I think. If there's one thing I've learned about men and women during the holidays, it is that women do not want their men home. If you're a dude and you take 2 weeks off work without telling your wife, you might as well just slap her right across the face, I guess, because they are not used to it. It just throws them right off. I've been seeing a lot of posts like this. My husband has been off work since the 24th and I haven't unalived him. Please clap for me. And these posts tend to be super relatable, with women agreeing that they do not want their husbands home this long. This woman actually feels a similar joy leaving the house because her husband is home all the time on long-term disability. And what's really interesting about this post is that when people ask if he's lazy or needs more work to do, you know, while he's on vacation, she actually says that he's not lazy and has done every chore she's asked of him. She just still doesn't want to be around him. And holy ladies, this is a huge problem because I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a man can't work forever, and neither can you. Eventually, you'll both have to retire, and when you do that, you'll have to live together and spend time together and grow into old age together, and you'll have to do that without committing spousal homicide. In fact, these will be the years you need each other most to survive. So this is your trial by fire. This is how you learn to do just that. There's a scene in Bruce Almighty, it might have been Evan Almighty, where God says that if you pray for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He gives you an opportunity to be patient. You are never going to be just handed a person who never annoys you and knows everything you want. But surely what you do know is why you married this person, right? So why did we forget that just because you took a couple weeks off? Listen, of course this is going to be a change to your routine and might throw you off a little bit, but I am begging you to try and see how special this is to him and your kids if you have them, and try not to focus on what could go wrong or how he could mess things up. He's been looking forward to this time with you and to be at home and not working for so long. And I'm going to say something else that you don't want to hear. He's also been looking forward to doing nothing. He really just wants to use some of his vacation time for nothing. In fact, everyone deserves some time for nothing. Look, you married him for him, right? Not for the time that he's gone. And it would just mean the world to him if you made him feel that way.
You know, I want to go back to that woman that was talking about not being seen. She was at the gym, she was working out, and it sounded like she said she didn't want that man. That's what it sounded like. I'm not really interested in him. I don't really want him. So, you know, it is what it is. And so when somebody comes around that he knows and he doesn't introduce you, that all of a sudden you're upset. I don't understand that, but, you know, whatever. She was going to keep him on the back burner. She wanted to play it cool, right? She wanted to come in as, oh, you know, who is that? Oh, she's around, you know, we're just friends. But, you know, that's really all it is. So people can start asking about you, and you're important. Oh, and you know, I don't like him, but he likes me, and his family knows about me, and I'm going to continue to do all of these other things. And then when I get good and ready, then, you know, I'll say, okay, I'm ready to get with you, right? But I'm gonna be out here for the time being, getting put through the mattress. But I'm gonna keep you on the back burner. I'm gonna keep you in my back pocket. That seems like what she was getting ready to do.
About it, the worst woman in the worst way that has been the most terrible to you is probably sitting in therapy right now being validated for all of her wrongdoing. And how is it that every single thing that a man does nowadays is considered, or every single man on this planet has been, and these women have just sat there innocently and done nothing wrong? Your husband isn't if his tone changes when he feels neglected or disrespected. Your husband isn't emotionally if he decides to go pick up McDonald's instead of eating your dinner at night. Like, your husband isn't if he tries to get you to spend less money because you're overspending at Hobby Lobby. The crazy part about it is every single thing gets slapped with some kind of label to make women feel like they're less delusional than they actually are. Just remember, these therapists know that there's more money to be made in validating women than there is in holding women accountable. These therapists will recommend them to other doctors or other psychiatrists or even other therapists, and it's all one big marketing scheme and one big MLM. The other crazy part to think about is that these men will sit in therapy and realize that they're being gaslit, that they're being ganged up upon, and that the entire therapy session or the idea of therapy is just to be ganged up upon and to find no resolution other than the fact that men suck. So when he gets up and leaves, then they can then validate her feelings even further, like, see, now my husband didn't even want to do therapy with me. And it's all because all it does is really shift blame onto the men, that everything is their fault, while simultaneously creating a cycle where the therapist and everybody involved continues to make money. Okay, bye.
That's why I never understood that whole thing about I can't find a good man. I can't stand that. There's good men everywhere. Look at them. Tons of good guys. Right? Yeah, good guy, good guy, good guy. A little creepy. Good guy, good guy, good guy. When you hear single women saying I can't find a good man, you're not finding them. You're not discovering them with a telescope to see where they're at. No, you're sorting through them. There's a difference. Yeah, because you have your choice. You are the one in power. You can be like, no, too stupid, too ugly, too hairy. Next. We can't do that as guys. We can't be like, no, too crazy. Too crazy. That comes standard in all of them? Okay. I like doing that joke because there's two type of women in the room right now. The ones that laughed at that joke, kiss them. Those are beautiful women. They know how to take a joke. They know I didn't say that personally to them. Then there's the ones that are staring at me like this. Because she thinks I'm talking about her. And I am.
And the pictures circling online made it look like it was just lame as nobody was dancing. All the girls were just sitting on the side. And guess what? They just shut down after one night. And you want to know why? Because nobody purchased one bottle of alcohol.
Everything women have is because men allow it. The WNBA is a perfect example of the duality of man and the dumbassery of women, right? Because in the WNBA, they lose money every single year. The only reason the WNBA exists is because the NBA, the men, allow it and continue paying them for no reason because they're not making any money. Women are the queens of up. They go into male spaces because they feel they should have a right to be in those male spaces. And then once they get in those male spaces, they realize, oh, this means I have to work. This means I have to spend money. This means I have to lift weights. This means I have to do something I didn't want to do. So now I shouldn't have to do that because I'm a woman. No, I wanted to be in a male space. I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be in the police force. I wanted to be a construction worker, but I shouldn't have to do as many sit-ups or as many push-ups. I shouldn't have to spend money on alcohol to keep the business running. I should just be able to go into the club every time I want and just experience life for free. I should be able to do what I feel like, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. No, men, I don't need a man for anything, but It would be nice if those men kept those clubs open, even if they're losing money, because I want to have fun. Like, women are quite literally mentally deranged. Men are basically children and men are basically parents. You know when your kid wants to play in the kitchen with you and they want to grab the knife and cut stuff up too, but that's too dangerous. So you go ahead and get some plate for them to around with so they don't hurt themselves, but they can still be a part of the group. Yeah, that's what men do for you. And pretty much everything. Like, oh, well, you can't really actually do it, but here you go. We'll sacrifice so you're able to feel like you can do it. Unfortunately, in this society, playing pretend isn't good enough anymore. So now women feel as though, no, I should be able to hold the kitchen knife. But the only problem is, if a man gives up that kitchen knife and she hurts herself, she's blaming you for giving her the kitchen knife. If you're a dyke and you're going into the male setting, then that means if there's a club, you got to be the one buying drinks, baby girl. Yeah, it's a lot harder to have fun when you don't have a man providing your ability to have fun, huh? It's a lot harder being in a man's world when you have to actually do what men are expected to do.
Has a man ever told you that 80% of women are going after the top 20% of men, and that's why there's this epidemic of men that can't find partners?
Anyway, they set the stat that was like 20% of people joining dating sites at that time were already married. And I was like, that's crazy. So then I just looked up, did my own little research. You want to know how many people now joining dating apps are already in a relationship or married? 65%. 65%. They did a study last year, and over 2/3 of people joining Tinder were already in a relationship or married. That's insane. And people wonder why it is so hard for this.
I can't switch the fact that we're only attracted to 20% of men. Okay, I can't change that. I can't change the fact that half of women by 2030, this is 6 years away, half of women are going to be single and childless. This was a study done by bankers, not people that have a political agenda. So if you're married to be, I always say though, if we banned side chicks, if we made it illegal or something, the first people that would complain are women. There are women that go to NBA games trying to get men to cheat on their wives.
It's Valentine's Day, and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it. That's me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway, so happy Valentine's Day to all the singles out there. We see each other. We're right there.
Watch this lady.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for us.
So if you guys don't know the context in the video, that man is married, and she's the office, probably, because why else would you go up to a man who's married and decide to feed him a pineapple? Now, it wouldn't bother me if a woman decided to give him a plate of food or give him something, because again, there's nothing wrong with offering people food when you're a nice person. There's women who are very nurturing and love to make sure that everybody else around them eats, especially, Hispanic women, a culture thing. I don't know what culture feeds other people's men, but don't get your jaw rearranged thinking you're cute, because stuff like that is dumb as fuck. And I find it so funny that when he flung out the pineapple, the woman acts shocked and she's laughing. You knew what you were doing, one, because you guys still posted this, and then two, you're feeding a married man, and then people in the comments are saying, this is how most men should be. This is the reason why I don't believe all men cheat. I see so many videos of men doing stuff like this, and kudos to y'all. I wouldn't cheat with somebody who's doing stuff like this. I wouldn't cheat at all, but if you're so easily tempted by a girl who probably does that to every single guy she comes across, man, you gotta get locked down. Seriously, you gotta lock it up. Me personally though, this shit's disgusting. I would never want to do this with a married dude. I don't know what girls get out of doing stuff like this. There are so many single men, like more single men than there ever was in this world. I'll never understand wanting somebody else's man, especially because, like I said, I always say this, you guys, you never know how the wife is. You never know how the partner is. She could be triple crazy. She could come to your job and pop off. I know for a fact, if my husband didn't tell me this and I seen a viral video of this, I would wait for you to come outside of the job. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like when people what's mine. I feel like it's off limits, but you will meet your maker with somebody like me. Leave me the hell alone. Leave mine the hell alone. I'm glad he actually didn't like intervene with a woman like that, because it's disgusting.
And you know, you also have to look at the women who actually, well, the therapists who actually try to take the job seriously, and they try to they try to do right. They try to do right and tell these modern women the truth. But these modern women, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to. I mean, you sitting up here telling me stuff I don't want to know. Modern women think, okay, they really do have this sort of, and it's not a wealthy mindset. It's not like a rich mindset. It's like a snobby kid, like one of those spoiled brats. Well, if I'm paying you, you do what I say, and you tell me what I want to know, right? That's how modern women are, you know. So they can go to therapy and all of these self-help seminars or read these books, but the first time something is said that it don't agree with what they think or what they know to be true about the world, then they just disregard it. They never even think about it. I mean, you might still have your experiences, but then also maybe can we look at there are other experiences outside of your own that might be valid? Of course not, because your truth is the only truth.